lung cancer caused by exposure to asbestos.
Call 1-800-948-5721 now.
AC 360 is live from Chicago as the president speaks out on gun violence.
Talkback question for you. Are there any hero athletes left? Oscar Pistorius, once a hero, a double amputee who ran into Olympic history.
Being an international sportsman, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. So having to toggle that and remembering, that there are kids out there, especially that look up to you, is definitely something that you need to keep at the back of your mind.
Now Mr. Role Model is accused of murder. Pistorius breaking down in court, accused of shooting his girlfriend 4 times, reportedly through a bathroom door. We don't know what happened, although his agent denies the murder charge. Still, there are hints Pistorius may not be the man we thought he was. Police say there were allegations of a domestic nature at his home before this incident. Sadly, Pistorius is the latest fallen hero. It's frankly exhausting. Lance, Tiger, A-Rod, brought down by everything from cheating in sports to cheating on their wives. Maybe Charles Barkley was onto something.
I am not a role model. I'm not paid to be a role model.
But like it or not, Sir Charles, we look up to people like you, so maybe it's time for us to look elsewhere. Talkback question, are there any hero athletes left? Rich?
Yeah, I mean, Maria and I both live here in Washington, D.C. We have, I think, 6 professional sports teams. And the only reason I know about this is because I'm on the Nationals press list. They send me all their stuff. And these men and women go to schools. They go to Bethesda to visit with wounded warriors. They do a lot of good stuff all the time, but it doesn't make news. Nobody gets on the news for stopping at all the stop signs on their way to work. So, yes, I think a lot of these people make a ton of money, and they work very hard to repay the community for coming out and see them play.
Yeah, but always in the back of your mind lurks suspicion that these people might not be who they... Come on, Jason, you get where I'm going with this.
Look, I understand, but see, the only hero athletes I appreciate are the ones who do successful on the field. I don't really care. I'm from Cleveland, and I still root for LeBron and the Miami Heat. I know that's strange. But you look, this Sunday is Michael Jordan's 50th birthday. Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player, if not one of the best athletes in American history. But he wasn't a nice guy. He was terrible to his roommates. He was probably unfaithful to his wife from what she says. But he's still a hero because of what he accomplished on the field. So that's what I think is most important, not what they do off the field.
See, I think that hero word is misplaced. Why is someone a hero, LZ? Simply because they're good at, like, making baskets?
They're a hero at the game, and I think we've kind of built this myth up to create these people to be more noble than what they may actually be. I'll tell you, it's been a long time since an athlete's personal life has disappointed me. But when I read that story yesterday about Blade Runner, that one hit me. And I think what it put it out for me, I won't speak for anyone else, but definitely for me, was about my own sort of bias, right? Because he was a double amputee, I wanted him to be even more noble because we were behind him because he was a double amputee and he did this great thing. Had he been, fully able athlete, I may not have been as surprised. But it was that factor added to it that made the story so much more shocking to me, and perhaps I think other people as well. I'm trying to remember a time in which we had heroes. The Ty Cobb was considered a racist back then. Babe Ruth was a philanderer as well. So where was there a time in which we had these perfect athletes? Never. I think that's the thing we really need to move toward, understanding that these aren't perfect.
Well, Maria, you got a point. Roberto Clemente was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Roberto Clemente, look, I think it all depends, and you said this, Carol, what we mean by hero, and the fact that we tend to really overuse that term and frankly apply it to people that don't deserve it. Yes, these people are people who are incredibly successful in their field of sport, and that's fine, and if you want to call them a hero in that sport, that's fine. But I think it takes much more to be a hero, and to Rich's point, I do think that there are hero athletes. Roberto Clemente is an example. Steve Nash opened a new cardiac clinic in Paraguay for little kids. And you have others who are doing things in their home countries that, again, people don't really focus on. Manny Pacquiao, for example, how much has he done for his home country? So I think it really is upon us, the fact that we put this hero title on people who don't deserve it. But then I'll give you the other side of that. Lance Armstrong. Carol, how many cancer survivors are there that do think that Lance Armstrong is a hero for all of the money that he raised and all of the focus that he put on cancer research?
Right.
So again, I think it's upon us and our definition of it.
And I think Lance still is a hero.
What?
I would argue that
I would
Lance
tell you
still
that
is a
Manny
hero.
Pacquiao was no hero either. Now with some of the
Well, you guys are really you
you
Democrats are really cynical. You need to come. You need to back down a little.
No, Rich, okay, you live in Washington. RG3, he's a fabulous athlete. He seems to be a fabulous human being, but I'm just waiting for, like, something to drop. I don't want him to mess up because I admire him so much.
Pat Tillman, who turned down a multi-million-dollar contract to go fight for us after 9/11.
He's a hero. But, Rich, I just wanted you to respond to my RG3 argument.
Well, I mean, you know, if you're going to sit around, if you're going to look hard enough, you're going to find something wrong with everybody. Perfection is a religious concept, not a political or a sports concept.
And they're human.
Right,
And
exactly.
that's what I mean.
And Arthur Ashe, you know, I mean, Muhammad Ali, there are people out there who have been sports stars, who have been wonderful political, cultural ambassadors. So it's not the question of heroes, it's what are we looking at in heroes today? As far as I'm concerned, a hero is somebody who goes out, does their job well, doesn't get into a tremendous amount of trouble, and gives me some entertainment on Friday or Saturday night. I'm not really looking for much more than that.
That's what you call a hero.
Your bar's not so high.
Wow.
Okay, we got to wrap this up. Although it's been great fun, I want to thank my guests for joining me today. LZ Granderson, Maria Cardona,
You're a
Jason
hero,
Johnson.
Carol.
Oh, thank you, Rich Galen. Thank you for talking back. Of course, we want to hear from our Facebook friends, too, on this issue. Are there any hero athletes left? This from Kel. We should not put anyone on a pedestal as a hero until they do something heroic. Is athletic prowess heroic? Does it save a life or improve the quality of life? And this from Michael. Peyton Manning, not only a great athlete, but an excellent role model, contributed a lot to Indianapolis, including a fine children's hospital. This from Javier. Be your own hero, role model, and one to set and achieve standards. Please keep the conversation going. Facebook.com/CarolCNN or tweet me at CarolCNN.
If you think running a restaurant is hard, try running 4. Fortunately, we've got ink. It gives us 5 times the rewards on our internet, phone charges, and cable, plus at office supply stores. Rewards we put right back into our business. This is the only thing we've ever wanted to do.
And ink helps us do it. Make your mark with ink from Chase.
Here we go.